Mic check, max spit stats like a tactician. Link breaking plays down, surging with precision. Scoob got the jokes, punchlines hitting crisp. Whole squad on the mic, call it audible bliss. Gritter and gospel. We the chapel of the huddle, global reach, Titan speak. Breaking every bubble from the turf to the booth. Knowledge stay colossal. Podcast the playbook, no room for apostle. Titans global, we break it, we mold it. Talking pigskin, the truth get unfolded. Max Link School, we the squad, we the code. Football mind sharp, taking you across the globe. Max drop gems, X's and O's like hieroglyphs. Link dissecting plays, no time for the myth. School, keep it raw, laugh till you cry. Huddle up, Titans talk, no flag, let it fly. Every league, every player, we dissect the grind. From the draft to the field, future stars in line. Whistles blow, helmets clash, stories untold. We bring the heat like cleats burning through the cold.
From kickoff to OT, every snap's a tale. Global Titans, we prevail, never stale.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. What's up, Link? How you doing?
Every time. What's going on, guys? Good to be here tonight. I usually say a lot to get into. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. Not a ton going on in the Titans free agency world with draft coming up. So kind of a weird show. We're just going to kind of free ball it tonight. Won a lot of comments. So as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and most importantly, get in the comments section. That's where the conversation is going to come from tonight is you guys. So make sure to hit us up and let us know what you think. Let's get Scoob back in here and get right into it.
Absolutely. Scoob, how you doing, man? You got us back now.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
It's all good.
It's just it's the show. It's the show. It just happens every time, man.
Every
I don't
week.
know what it is.
Every week. It's all good. It's like the way we know that the show is on because Scoob is having some technical issues. So yeah, really a free show tonight. So if you guys want to get on here and chat with us, give us some topics or whatever. I'm going to throw out some weird topics right off the bat and to get us rolling, and then we'll get into some of the fan questions that we had this week, and we'll get into some more hypothetical weirdness, and we'll see where it goes.
Sounds good.
First of all, let me hear you guys' predictions. We're going to do some over-under fun stuff real quick. Over-under Cam Ward, 4,000 passing yards. Over-under.
I'll take under.
Under.
Yeah, I'll take
Oh, I love it.
And that doesn't mean an unsuccessful season. Like, I don't think this offense is going to be designed around Cam Ward passing for over 4,000 yards. Like the identity of this team is still going to be a strong defense with Rob Saleh, and it's going to be a run game. And look, a lot of people think that's who you're bringing in at number 4 overall is that run game, and we'll see. But either way, I don't think the success of this team depends on a 4,000-yard season from Cam Ward, and for that reason, I don't think he hits that.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think they're going to make it very easy for him, and I believe he'll probably get, 3,500 maybe, around that number, I'd say. But I think it's still going to be a pretty good season.
What? Okay, so I knew that Scoob was under. Are you under as well, Lake?
Oh yeah, I'm under. But I'm curious. I'm curious what your guys like. Where would you fall at a safe bet? What would your over under be? Because Scoob just said 3,500, and I still think that's high. So Max, are you under on this?
Oh. I mean, I'm an over guy.
Really?
And the reason I say is over is because he threw for 3,100 yards as a rookie with a bunch of rookie wide receivers and no coaching, basically.
So 400 more yards is a good season.
but look at the situations. But look at the situations he was in and the games that he was forced to be throwing in the fourth quarter. A lot of that was garbage time stats. Now, and I'm not. It was still good play, but you weren't exactly playing, tight man coverage defense for a lot of these snaps. So that being said, I think the success of this team is still a strong defense and a run game. I think if Cam Ward, my over-under that I'm comfortable with is right at where he was last year, 3,000, 3,200 yards, because right there I feel like you're still in a good mix of run game and pass game, and you still have success. I think Cam Ward can still throw for the same amount of yardage and be more efficient with those throws.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. I'm not going to disagree with it. I'm just saying that I'm an over guy. But anyway, the next over under question I had was still Cam Ward, but what with 25 touchdowns. Last year he had 15, just for reference.
He had
25
15 last year,
touchdowns,
right?
over under. Yeah, over or under.
I'm gonna say under.
I think it's over. Again, I still and and the reason I
I
say
mean,
that is because if we do things like a bunch of Titans fans wants us to do, and we draft Love at 4, then that takes a huge weight off of Cam Ward. And when you start running the ball efficiently, then you obviously it opens up the pass game, which is exactly what Dayball, as far as I'm seeing, does in his offense. So I don't know. All this seems to be bringing just a more offensive. And some people even say, well, if we draft Love, that's going to bring Cam Ward's numbers down, which
and I agree with that.
And that's kind of where I fall. And I don't think it's going to bring it down significantly. But again, I think you and look, I may even say that I'll take the under on passing yards and the over on touchdowns because again, I think he can still have the same amount of
I
production
think 20
or
is 20 is
efficiency.
the number.
I'm somewhere close to 2022. I'd be comfortable there. And look,
Yeah.
I still think that isn't an unsuccessful season. I just think that's realistic expectations with the way this
Right.
offense is going to be this year.
That's a quick question we got from one of the fans out there. Who do you pick at number 4? Some people think, podcasters the expert analysis. I don't know about that. I like to say it's a show for the fans, made by the fans.
Right.
But or use the term panelist. Either way, I like Ward, or excuse me, I like Love. And if Love isn't there, or you're not 100% on Love or whatever, then obviously I like Bailey before I like Love. I like Bailey out of what we
Right.
had. So those are my 2 favorites. But who is y'all's favorite
If
at
Love
4?
is there, I mean, you have to take him, in my opinion. But it wouldn't bother me if they took Bain or Bailey or even Tate, I guess, because I guess his stock has been rising too. So really, I'm just going to be excited about whoever they take. I'm going to be happy with it because I know it's going to make the team better. So I'm not really picky this year on that pick, but I do hope it's Love.
Yeah, I think the team has kind of given hints, and all signs point to Love. A name that you guys didn't mention that really rose up my board, Sonny Styles. Like I think if
Yeah.
you have an opportunity to get your next possible Fred Warner, Keith Bullock type player, like it's hard to pass it up. So just looking at metrics and best player available and IQ, like Sonny
So
Styles
you'd
kind of
be
flies off
happy
the
with the
charts.
inside linebacker at 4?
I think that he's versatile enough that you
Right.
could make it work in a Robert Saleh defense. Absolutely. And I think that if you
Okay.
have the chance, if you think that his comp is truly a Fred Warner, Keith Bullock type, then absolutely, I think you take that. Because if you're the Titans, you're in a really good position to where you've got your quarterback and you can kind of go best player available.
Yeah.
Whatever position that is, because you can argue there's a hole at every single need on this, at every single position on this team.
And they
So
signed
that's
another linebacker today too.
so I'm saying, so you never know. Like you
Yeah.
never know. I think we're at a point where we go best player available. But again, I'm still with you guys. I think the obvious choice right now and what my money would be on is Love there at number 4.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I
Yeah,
just think he would change the offense so much, just
Yeah.
having him on, because he can run, he can catch, he can block. I mean, the kid does everything. So,
I'll
I
say,
mean,
so as the devil's advocate, people say that running back at 4 is absolutely ridiculous. I kind of think middle linebacker at 4 is absolutely ridiculous. And Sonny Styles could be, I guess, an edge or an outside linebacker, but for me, he's a middle linebacker.
right.
Yeah, I mean, every position's evaluated differently. I think 4 is high for a running back. I mean, I truly do
Yeah,
believe
but
I
that.
agree.
But you're getting more than just a running back. You're
yeah,
getting
I
a
mean
receiver
he's
out of the backfield. You're getting an
exactly.
explosive weapon on offense. And you could make the same argument for Sonny Styles.
I
You're
mean,
not
I
just getting a middle
seen
linebacker. You're getting a guy that can move around. He can play edge. He's got good coverage skills. He's got the IQ to play inside, jump outside. You're getting a guy that can line up at multiple positions and do multiple things. So you could make the same
even
argument for
yeah.
any player in any position.
Love is the same way. If you look, man, you watch some of his film. He lined up in the slot. He lined up
That's what I'm
outside
saying.
wide.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
getting
Love
more
was
than
all
just
over the
that
place.
position. Yeah.
That also goes to further my argument that Love would only extend Cam Ward's passing yards because those dump offs for 1 or 2 yards
Right.
last season that the running backs couldn't get free. And I don't know. I'm just saying I expect more, or maybe I'll have a guess. Anyway, so we talked about who your first round pick would be. Who's your perfect first 2 rounds? Your perfect first 2 rounds. And I'll even start it just
Go
to
ahead.
take the pressure off you guys. Because y'all already know what my first 2 rounds are going to be. It's going to be Love and then Brazel.
Right.
I've been talking those 2 guys up the whole time, and I think Brazel will be there.
Right.
So those are my first perfect. I think that. I mean, look, dude. I'll be honest with you. Brazel not only is the guy that'll go up and fight for the ball. He's quick. He sinks his hips well. He moves out of the cuts really smoothly.
And he has football
Watch him.
intelligence too. Yeah, he's
I
pretty
watched a
smart.
lot of tape on the kid, and I'll be honest with you. My favorite thing about Brazel is when he gets underthrown by the quarterback. And he comes back, comes off his route, streaking hard, got 3 steps on the dude, and then stops almost immediately, comes back, jumps up in the air, and high points that ball and just brings it down. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't speak highly enough. People want to talk about Carnell Tate. I honestly think that Brazel is one of the best wide receiver talents in the draft, period. And I do think that he's going to drop to the second round because of Tennessee's prior wide receiver products.
Right.
I think they're past. I do agree with you on Brazel. I think if he's there, you definitely take him. That would be ideal. I just don't think he's there. I think
Yeah.
too many other people see what you see at this point. I think he's a first round.
He's going
draft
in the
pick.
middle.
That's
He's going in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
But
But I'll give you another Tennessee guy that might drop there for a different reason because of injury, and that's Jermon McCoy. I think if you can get a guy like that, because now you've put yourself in a position where whoever you get at corner, if you take a player in the draft, is not going to have to start immediately. Is not going to be expected to go against a number 1 immediately. If you can get a guy like Jermon McCoy who's coming off that injury, who's nursed this thing. If you're talking to a Tennessee fan, he's nursed this thing for way too freaking long. I mean, we're going on a calendar year and a half at this point.
Right?
So so he should be well good to go.
I would be opposite. I would take Hood as a second pick.
Yeah, but he's not there. But I don't think he's there either. I don't know that he's there.
I'm just saying, if he's there, I would take him.
For sure. But I think Jermon McCoy, I think not participating in the combine hurt him more than expected.
Right.
Did pro day happen? Did I miss? I've been in basketball. Has pro day?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's happened yet. So the word is that he was going to participate in Tennessee's pro day. We'll see if that's a thing. But I don't know. I think if he does drop there to that second round, which I think is more likely than Brazel dropping, I think that's where my pick goes.
Yeah, it just makes me nervous that he hasn't played football in so long, man. That's the only thing.
For sure, but you're not asking him to play immediately. That's the point.
Right.
You're no longer asking that player to play immediately.
You want your second round pick to be a starter, right?
Sure, but if he's a starter in week 6 and we're 4-2, and now I've got Jermon McCoy in the backfield, like I'm cool with that too. So that's where I'm at. Like I think because this is how you build a team. I would love to make the playoffs this year. But if I can get a secondary build that up and retain that for the next 3 years, like that's how you build a championship team, a dynasty. So I think the picks that you make now is what we're looking back at 4 years from now when we're making Super Bowl runs.
Right.
That's the goal.
I get it, man. I get it. Both ways, both what you're talking about and
See that right there, Max, shows you that he'll probably be there at 35.
Yeah, I mean that's the point. That's exactly my point. Although I do think Brazel is different in the fact that he comes back for the ball, but
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So yeah, all right. Big question. This is a big one. I had a hypothetical. I thought of it a day or two ago, and to be honest, it has been perplexing me ever since because I have thoughts on both ways. But if the Titans do draft Jeremiah Love at number 4, obviously we have a really crowded running back room. Do we trade? Try to trade Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears, or do we cut Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears? Either way, which one is kind of the odd man out?
Man, in my opinion, I still think it's Spears. I think Spears just hasn't been available, and he's good when he's on the field, but he's never on the field. So I think Spears is gone, and I think it'll be Love and Pollard, and I think Pollard would be a great backup for Love to come in the game, and take over when he needs to. And that's just my opinion, just because Spears just hasn't been available, man, and every time he gets on the field, he gets hurt, and it sucks because I really like Spears, but I can see where Spears gets either released or so. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I understand the proven side of Tony Pollard, but Link, you got your thing muted, bro.
I think your upside to Spears is much greater than that of Pollard, and for that reason, I feel like I would keep Spears because I know what Pollard is, and I feel like I can replace Pollard. I mean, I hate to say that, but you just brought in Julius Chestnut. I feel like Julius Chestnut could probably come in and do. He is, but I feel like in the run game, Julius Chestnut could accomplish most of what you would ask Tony Pollard to do if Tony Pollard is on this team next year.
And I think
those two would be
Mullings would be more for
either way. Either way. But I think with the upside you have in Spears, it just makes sense to keep him on this team with a playmaker like Ward, with a playmaker like Love. I think that upside is harder to replace than what you would have in Pollard. And for that reason, I just think you get younger.
Faster. If Spears stayed healthy, I'd agree with that. But he just never stayed healthy.
And if he doesn't, you got Mullins to do the same thing you're asking Pollard to do. Or Chestnut or whoever, in player X, because it's that easily replaceable. That's my point.
Yeah.
All right, here's where I go with this. All right, first of all, it's really hard for me because like I said, I see it on both sides. But Tajay Spears, a lot younger. He's on a rookie contract. He is tied this year for second in forced missed tackles, even though he's not been on the field that much. On the flip side, Tony Pollard is proven in the NFL. He's had 2 or 3 1,000-yard seasons in a row. However, Tony Pollard is getting up in the age, and his contract is like, $7.5 million we'd save if we cut him or traded him or whatever.
Right.
So I see both sides of it, but this is where I come from personally. If we have Jeremiah Love, who is going to be the better back to back him up, or who has the better, I guess, the better chances of being successful back in the NFL?
Pollard, in my opinion.
I hate to say it, but Tony Pollard is only going to be a successful NFL player for maybe another year. And the big thing against Pollard in my mind right now is I had questions about him taking plays off in the season, in the middle of the season, and after going over the tape, like seriously going over the tape, looking at the running backs, Pollard does not look well. His Go back and watch 2024 Tony Pollard and watch 2025 Tony Pollard. Pay attention to the vision and his gap running specifically. If you look at that, you will see what I'm talking about. Just go back and watch the tape in 2024, watch it in 2025. You'll see what I'm talking about. Homeboy wasn't even trying at part of the season. I mean, I thought this the first time. Second time I watched the season, I thought it was a little more obvious. The third time I watched the season, it's not a joke anymore. It's real. And whether that was because we had a crappy coach or whatever, doesn't matter to me. You're not giving me 100%. I don't want you on my team.
I
That's
got
the
it.
way I feel about it. On that one, personally.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, and I get it, man. Tajay Spears hasn't been very successful. We did ask specifically this week for a couple of questions or topics from our fans to give us something to talk about because I'll be honest with you, I was straining to find things to talk about because, there's really nothing
It's
going
that
on.
time of the year.
Yeah, it's the dead time of the year. So I'm gonna go with the first one here. DJ David Betlack, I think is how you say his name. Should we look at Mike Dana, which is an edge, or Jawan Taylor? Jawan moving inside, fixes right guard. Dana plays his contract well, value, depth, rotation piece. My quick answer to that is on the Dana part, just get used to. Uh, we already have rotational edges. We signed Jacob Martin, McKeeley Herring, and we already have Jalen Harrell. So those are three rotational edges. We don't really need any more rotational depth pieces at edge, I believe. As far as the other part about Jawan Taylor moving inside, again, my quick answer would be Kevin Zeitler is still available, and he hasn't announced his retirement yet, which means
Right.
that he's still pondering playing in the NFL. So if we were just going to sign Jawan Taylor and move him inside, why would we not just re-sign Kevin Zeitler, who already knows, has familiarity with the franchise and
Right.
blah 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 blah. And we could probably get him on a cheap deal because he's old as hell, and obviously nobody wants him. So that's my answer to the Jawan Taylor. Is there any other options that you guys can think of that's better options out there for
My
offensive guard or an edge?
my answer for right guard is Slater. I hope that he takes the job. You know what I'm saying? That's my answer for that. And for edge, like Salah said, man, he rotates a lot. So I guess the more the merrier, man. We find the best 5 or 6 edge guys, and because he says he rotates a lot, and he said, his defensive line is the hardest job on the team. So for me, I guess the more the merrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, the ideal situation is obviously that Slater steps in when needed. I think that's the goal, right? Because if that's not the answer, then now you're having to revisit that in the draft, whether it's
Right.
this year or next year. So that's the sucky part about it. So you hope that that option is Slater. I think that the guy that's in the building is always a better option than the guy that's outside.
Right.
So we'll see. But I think that's ideal. Now, if they surprise us in the third or fourth round, and I think the fourth wouldn't be a surprise. I think the third would be a surprise if they went offensive lineman. Do we agree? Like, I think are we pretty set on Love is probably first, wide receiver, edge? Is that
Probably,
where
yeah.
Probably.
we're at?
Pretty,
So
yep,
so a third round would surprise me at offensive lineman if they go that route.
yep,
That's
me
probably
too.
telling you they don't love what they have in Slater. If they don't, I think that's probably what they roll with.
Yeah, I think fourth. I think you're right on there. Fourth round is where you look for that offensive line help, whether it be center first or right guard first. Obviously, I'd be targeting a center because that seems like a little bit more of a dire situation than the right guard situation. But
Right.
As far as edges go, yeah, man. I think we've got we've got plenty of rotational depth pieces. Now we need either the guy or to use those guys in rotation and hope that Oladejio flourishes under Sala.
Are you
Right.
surprised they moved on from Levin? Did that one
I'll be
surprise
honest
you a
with
little
you,
bit?
a little
Well, did
bit,
It
they
yeah.
did
move on
me.
for him?
It
Did
did
they move
me
on from
because
him, or did he get a better deal
no,
with somebody
he's
else?
well. I mean, yeah,
No,
you could argue that, I guess, but my thing is like because you bring in it's Schlottheimer, right? And so you
yep,
bring him in, you
Schlottheimer.
expect that to be your starting center. But I mean,
Right.
Corey Levin, he had rapport with these guys on the offensive line. He had at least given some snaps to Cam Ward. It just
Right.
feels like if things didn't go right with who you brought in, that he would have been the next best option. And I mean, for the deal he took and the Titans having as much cap space as they did, that one kind of surprised me a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Or
not gonna
maybe he
lie.
just wanted a fresh start somewhere else. You never know.
I was a little shocked by that one because I expected he's a very high athletic offensive lineman. Seems like the type that Daboll would like. He's already got familiarity with the franchise. He's been around forever. He's clearly got the fans on his side. But I don't know, man. I like you
I mean, he
said,
doesn't move the
I'm
needle.
shocked.
He doesn't move the needle, but he's versatile enough to keep
No,
around his
but
depth. But we'll see.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
And look, maybe that's a good sign for Slater, right?
Right.
Maybe that's a good sign for
maybe it
Slater.
is.
Maybe they like so much what they have in Slater that he can come in and either be that starter or that Corey Levin versatile rotational piece. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I do believe with this coaching staff for once in about 3 years, I believe there's an actual plan. So we'll see.
Oh yeah.
I agree, and that is the most fantastic thing that I've heard in a long time. All right, so we kind of answered this sort of already, but Bobby Andrews here, two-part question: options at center. Options at center. There's well, in free agency, there's really no more options at center. You should really get used to the idea of Schlottman being your center because
It
that's
sounds like
probably.
he's going to be the center.
I mean, that's more than likely that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for options, the draft obviously is the only place you can go with that. And the best one out there, as far as I'm concerned, is Jake Slaughter from Florida. But I also really like Sam Hecht and Logan Jones. Logan Jones really intrigues me from Iowa. I have a thing for Northwestern or Midwestern, I guess, linemen. Any linemen that come from Nebraska, Iowa.
Is he going to be there in the fourth round? Is he going to be there
I
in the fourth
doubt it.
round? That's what I'm saying. They ain't drafted a center because there's not going to be a center there in the fourth round that's going to be
I'll
worth
agree with you
starting.
there.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm
Right.
at. If they take a guy, it ain't going to be for a starter. Schlottenheimer is going to be your starter on this team. Get used to it. But yeah, I for depth, absolutely. And if those dudes are there, again, would not shock me at all if they spend a fourth or fifth round pick on an offensive line.
How many
Anything
fourth round
above
picks
that's
do
a
we
waste.
have? How many fourth round picks do we have? Like 3?
Is it?
We have one.
One?
Fourth round. Yeah,
Oh.
we've got one in each round right now.
I thought we had
Nah,
multiple
we
picks
had a
in
double
round.
up in one round, right?
You're right.
We have
you're
a double
right.
up
I'm
in one
sorry. I
round.
think we have two in the fifth round.
2 in the
There
5th.
might be 2 fourth round. Damn it.
Here,
I
I'm
don't
about
know.
to
I
let
was
us
gonna
know.
say somebody's got
know.
to have this information.
Yeah, I thought we had multiple fourth round picks, unless we traded them or something.
think we
Let's
got
see.
Or maybe I'm
Titans
wrong.
draft. Yeah, we'll get this sorted out. Y'all talk while I find it.
Yeah.
But here, I'll say this. I mean, what's in your opinion with those first, say, 4 to 5 rounds, excluding Love, because I think we all kind of agree that's the first. We say edge, we say wide receiver. I think corners on there. What are your top needs going after Jeremiah Love? What are your top 4 needs on this team?
Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver, defensive back, offensive lineman. Those are the three categories I think we need the most help, and we need to spend some late round draft picks there and hope they develop into good players.
Yeah. I would say edge, corner, and wide receiver, in my opinion.
It's pretty good. Link, are you froze up?
Fair enough. Oh, nope.
Oh,
I
there
was
you are.
finding our
Yep.
picks. All right. We got 2 5th rounds and 2 6th rounds. Everything
Okay.
else is 1 per round.
Okay.
So 2 5s, 2 6. So I think
All right.
I think you probably spend one of those 5th on an offensive lineman. That would be my guess if you're going to go there.
It wouldn't surprise me if they
I'm-
spend both of them on offensive line.
And they could, but I'm with you guys. I think biggest needs are still edge, wide receiver, corner, and then I don't know, that fourth one's kind of tough for me still.
Yeah, it's
Right.
hard.
I don't know. I think you could argue. I don't know. I think that's where you could argue linebacker. I still think you need
Right.
help at that moving forward. Your inside linebacker position, because I like what you've got in a couple places, but you're still aging in another. So we'll see.
Yeah.
This is where having so many holes is actually a good thing for a new GM, because it's hard to pick wrong when you have this many holes.
That's true.
Right.
You just take the best player at what position you need
Yep.
and just take it. You don't have to think about it. The other question that we had was, I thought, the best question of all, because it brings up something that really nobody's talked about that much, and I thought it was one of the most important things about Robert Saleh's hire. And it came from Bobby Andrews. He said, how will we manage the clock better than previous seasons? How will we manage the clock better? Not only that, how will we manage the game better? I'm going to tell you, because Robert Saleh went out and learned from his mistake at his first coaching job and said, I'm going to control the defense, what I'm really good at controlling. And then I'm going to subcontract out the offense to Brian Dable. And I'm going to get a guy in here that helps me keep an eye on the clock and what down we're in and all those things. His name is Cade Knotts. He was hired specifically, and his title is literally the assistant offensive / game management
Right.
coach. And that is exactly what he was hired for, to stand on the sidelines and be like, hey, Robert, Bob, whatever you want to call it, we're on second down. Got 2 seconds left on the play clock. Call a
Right.
timeout. You know, whatever. And that, I just think that's such a huge sign of growth, you know, because growth is not only knowing what you're good at and exploiting that, but it's also knowing what you're bad at and finding ways to have people surround you that make you better at what you're bad at.
I totally agree with that.
I think a lot of that was Callahan's downfall. I think he just tried to handle too much at one time. He was trying to call plays. He was trying to run the offense. He was in Cam Ward's ear. He was trying to run the clock. He was trying to manage the game itself. It got to be too much. And for a guy who didn't even call plays in Cincinnati, he just wasn't prepared to take that on. So, I think it's important for a coach to kind of have that dude, even if it's just a guy that keeps you back. Like Vrabel always had a dude to just keep him back off the field. Like even that helps. So yeah, just having a guy that's there to help and kind of micromanage a little bit, that can be a good thing. Because I think ultimately that's what caused Callahan's downfall.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And yeah, that's just like I said, just huge sign of growth for me from the coach. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm almost fresh out. It's all right if we do kind of a quick show. I did want to mention that we've got a giveaway going on right now on Facebook. It is doing well. If it does really well, we'll obviously do more and bigger things. And we're going to do a giveaway on the show live at some point, very, very near future. But other than that, I don't really have anything. Y'all got anything else?
Well, let me. Yeah, I got a little something. Let me ask you.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Give me, since we're just throwing stuff out, give me your top 4 greatest Titans of all time. Go. Give me your 4.
Oh my God!
And why?
Top 4 greatest Titans.
Your most favorite Titans players of all time, in your opinion, not just who you love the best. Your top 4.
Okay. Steve McNair, obviously, Air McNair's got to be number 1 for me. I don't care. It's either him or Derrick Henry, which is number 2. Those two, I guess, can battle it out for who's first and second on my list.
Right.
But after that, it's got to be Chris Johnson, man. CJ2K was the most explosive player I've ever seen on a football field. It was amazing. He was either getting 50 yards or -5.
Right.
And I got it. Oh my God, there's so many good ones, but I have to say, Mr. Monday Night.
There you go.
Keith Bullock. I got to give it up to a little bit of defense because Titans are known for running the ball and whooping ass on defense. And that's exactly what Keith Bullock did, was whoop ass and intercept quarterbacks on Monday night.
Right.
But all right.
Mine's the exact same, but I swap Bullock and CJ2K. That's pretty much it. I put Bullock right in front of CJ2K, but I think talent wise, like raw talent wise, CJ was just on a whole nother level.
Dude, it was
all right. Well, here's my top 4 of all time, starting at number 1.
Oh, look at him!
Heck yeah.
Okay, this is my top 4 favorite Titans of all time.
There you go.
So just so I'm seeing this right, because it is tiny on my little laptop right now, but that is Jarrell Casey.
No, that's Michael Griffin.
Michael Griffin. Okay, looked like a 99.
Then you got Javon Curse.
Yeah.
Okay. Keith Bullock.
There he is.
Okay. And then my number 1 favorite of all time, Blaine Bishop.
Oh, the Hitman.
Those are my top 4 favorite Titans of all time, which I've always been a defensive guy, so I always pick the defense. But I've got to meet every single one of these guys, and I got to meet Javon Curse this year, so I've got to meet all 4 of those guys too. And half of them follow me on Twitter.
That's right.
Still trying to get Bully and still trying to get Javon to follow me, but Michael Griffin and Blaine follow me, so those are my 4 favorites.
Honorable mention, Frank Wachek. That's one I met.
Yeah, Frank's in my top 10.
Awesome freaking dude. He was
Frank's in my top 10.
Drew Bennett's amazing. Got to give him a shout. And Pac-Man, as much as I don't like the guy.
I got to meet Pac-Man too. He's a pretty wild guy.
I was going to say, the only time I got to meet him, he must have been in a bad mood because he was kind of a prick to me. But that's
right. I hear you.
Anyway, I think that's the show for us right now.
I really want to hear the Pac-Man story, whether that's on or off. I haven't heard the Pac-Man story.
Yeah, you got to let us hear this.
He was salty. Let's say that. All right. He was going in from practice. I was hollering at him, trying to get him to come over, sign the signatures or whatever. And he just kind of looked at us, saw us, and then flipped us off and kept walking in. I was like, holy shit, dude, are you fucking serious?
Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, he must have just had a really bad practice or something. I don't hold it against the guy. Everybody has bad days.
Right.
Yeah. From then on, I was like, all right, well, the hell with that then.
Right.
Oh, man.
Anyway. All right. So that's it. I think we're taking a break until right before the draft. I'll alert everybody online, obviously, of that. But until next time, guys, y'all stay good. Tighten up.
Tighten up. Peace out.
Peace out.